Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Gabra890, back again with another video. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a pickup video, and I picked up a lot more than I realized, so figured time to do a video. So, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I finally picked up the Legend of Zelda Lego set. I couldn't help myself. I was able to get a bit of a deal, and it was a blast to build. There's lots of little Easter eggs and nods to different Zelda games, so it was definitely worth it in my opinion. Got some cool minifigures, and you got Link's Treehouse, Adult and Young Link, and then obviously I built the Breath of the Wild Deku Tree, but you can also swap it to the Ocarina of Time version, so that's really cool. So yeah, that was definitely a real fun build. Okay, now getting back to the second elephant in the room. Yes, I picked up a Nintendo Switch too. I wasn't originally planning on it. I thought I was fine with the Switch 1, and in many ways I was. But I decided I didn't like the option of not having an option. Meaning, once pre orders sold out, it was going to be tough to get for a while. That's why I decided, what, I'm going to try to at least get a pre order in so I have a choice. If I decide against it, I'm sure it won't be hard to find a buyer at retail. So I was there, pre order night, and I was trying for Best Buy, but they took way longer than everybody else to go live, and then they put me in a queue, and I'm sitting in the queue for like 20 minutes, and so then I'm stressing out that, it's not working and it's going to be sold out. And I heard that Walmart was like live again, and I'm a Walmart Plus member, so that helps. So I heard over there, and I was able to check out in like 2 minutes, no issues, and so I was like, oh, okay, I got my Switch 2. Well, I go back to the Best Buy page, and it's like, oh, you have a Switch 2 in your cart for checkout now. And it's like, oh, okay. And so I decided, you know what? I'm sure this one won't be hard to get rid of as well at retail. So decided to grab two. Wasn't even planning on one. But luckily I did, because I told my friend about the situation, and he immediately was like, yeah, I'm interested. So we actually had a Switch 2 launch weekend where we hung out and played Switch 2 all weekend and had a blast. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Picked up Mario Kart World. Really enjoyed that. Been playing, all the different modes, and there is a lot. And I'm a diehard Mario Kart fan, so it was a good launch game for sure. And for me, I would say the biggest reason I decided to pick it up is obviously it's beefier hardware, and I felt like there was a lot of games being held back by the original Switch, and now we're able to play them at a higher frame rate, higher resolution, and just runs and looks a whole lot better. And so I'm mainly talking about the Legend of Zelda series, which is my all-time favorite. So, anyways, picked it up, been enjoying it. It's a pretty sweet console, a lot bigger than the original Switch, and yeah, been a lot of fun. And then, as you can see, I also picked up this carrying case. So this is the bigger one. So you're able to store the dock and a control, or a controller, not both. But then the Switch and the games. So it's just like a nice all-in-one package that if you're going over to a buddy's house or you're going on a trip, it's just all packed neatly in there. So that was $30. But I had some coupons, so I was able to grab that for 20 or $5. So I was able to get $25 off. And then that I had to pick up my favorite kart racing game, which is Pokemon Kart 64, which is actually a friend of mine, his friend, made this. It's kind of a reskin of Mario Kart 64, but it's pretty cool. They got like all these little changes and Easter eggs that are Pokemon themed, and so he gave this to me for my birthday, and so it's just a nifty little item to have. But yes, as I mentioned, I did pick up Mario Kart World. Man, $80 is absolutely ridiculous. I used my coupons, but I had to use $70 worth of coupons, points at Best Buy, to get it for $5.36. But yeah, like it's one that's like if you're getting a Switch 2 and you like Mario Kart even a little bit, like you had to pick it up. So, anyways, I'm glad to have it, and it is a fun game for sure. Okay, up next we got the Collection of Mana. I have played a few of these games, and this was on clearance at Best Buy for $10.99. And I was going to grab it because it was a really good deal. But then, of course, it was sold out. And I even had a $5 coupon, so I would have gotten it, for $6. So I was kind of disappointed, but I kept watching, and then it came back in stock, and I was able to grab it, which is kind of odd because usually if it's clearanced, like once it's sold out, it's gone, it's clearanced. But no, I was able to grab it for $6 and some change, so I was pretty happy about that. Just goes to show you can't always give up. Okay, and then we got Super Mario RPG, which is one that went on sale very briefly. It was like for half an hour at like midnight at GameStop for $5. And there was one in stock nearby. So I was able to use my monthly $5 coupon and get this for $5.36. So that's pretty sweet. All right, and then this one was a bit of an unexpected pickup. Mario Tennis Open on the 3DS. So I had my monthly $5 coupon at GameStop, which I really love that. I think it's a good deal. I'm always looking for, new games, and so I'm able to add to the collection. And this is definitely a good one to add. So let's see, I think it was like around $15, and so with my coupon, I got it out the door for $10.20. Complete in box, really good condition. Looks great on the 3DS. All right, up next we got Excite Truck. This is one I meant to get forever because I played Excite Bike, especially on the 64, a lot, and so I was always interested in this one, but I just never got around to picking it up. But there was a new local game store that opened up, and I went to check it out, and they had it for a pretty decent price. I think I was able to get it for $8.59. So finally able to cross that off the list. Now here's one that was pretty fun. I think I bought a GameCube game from GameStop in probably like a decade or more, who knows. But yeah, so it's been nice seeing the retro games kind of starting to come into more stores. And so I had my $5 coupon, and I was able to pick this up with a few other items. But yeah, they had this for $12.34, and it was complete in box. And yes, I did not have Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. I have the first one, so I knew I had to get the second one, especially because it's quite famous. Okay, moving along. We got a PS Vita game. I do not pick these up very often. But yeah, I was able to grab Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. And I got this for $20.37. Saved about $10 or so. But it was kind of funny because I had been wanting to get this one because I enjoy the Black Ops games. And also, I like the Vita, and I'm always looking for an excuse to play it. So I had been looking at on eBay, and then I went to see a movie, and right before the movie starts, there's just the trailers playing, and so I am on my phone, and all of a sudden it says you have an offer, from the seller, and so it was a good percent off, like maybe even like 50% off, because that included shipping. So, anyways, I just was like, yep, I will take that offer. Immediately checked out, and then the movie started. So it was just a nice little moment for technology. I was able to buy a new game right before my movie started. Okay, then up next, we got Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which is definitely a very interesting game. But if you've played the first one, or you know who Hideo Kojima is, you already knew that. I was definitely planning on picking it up. I just wasn't sure about launch day, because I just have so many games. But I had a $10 coupon that was going to expire. I had to use it. There was nothing that was catching my eye. And it was like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of the $70 price tag, but if I'm getting $10 off, and then I can use, my other points, you get it for $5.36. And I'm glad I did, because I've really been enjoying this. I've been playing this the last few days, and I love the idea of it. I love the journey, and the crazy characters and the story. There's just nothing like it. So I've been enjoying this. And speaking of enjoying, I really enjoyed this, like many others. Split Fiction, phenomenal game. I have never been disappointed by a Hazelight Studios game. I've played all of them, and most of them I've been able to pick up day one. And this is one that I was going to pick up, but I just got distracted, and then the weeks passed, and then I was just kind of hoping for a sale, and there wasn't one happening. But then an amazing deal happened that I was just set up for in the perfect way. So, Ant Online on Walmart, and maybe it was on their website as well, but they had Split Fiction, brand new, and then a brand new DualSense Black controller, which I'd been wanting to pick it up since day one because it just looks so sleek. I love it. But yeah, so retail for these $125. They had it on sale for $85, so $40 off. So I was like, okay, that's a good deal, taking $20 off each. But then I also had $26 in Walmart cash from just random purchases. So I immediately put that towards it. And I had a $5 coupon. So $31 off. So yeah, I was able to pay, I think like out the door, it was like $55 for both of these. And this alone is usually $50. So anyways, that ended up just being like an incredible deal. And I was super excited to get both of those. And so yeah, me and my brother, we played through Split Fiction, and we just had a blast. They really just knocked it out of the park. Great story, some really cool set pieces, and yeah, they just have a very unique style. Okay, up next we got Black Myth Wukong, which, gosh dang, I don't know why I own so many of the Soulsborne games, but also just like even ones that are obviously influenced by the genre, and this is one of them. But I went into a pawn shop, and they had it for $30, and I was like, I don't know, for $30, maybe I should grab it. And I was thinking about it, and I left. And then I actually went back, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, is there any wiggle room? And he said, how about 25? And I said, done. So yeah, I was able to pick it up for $25, and it's like, you know what, even if I don't get very far or even finish it, which I probably won't, I got a great deal, and now I at least have the option to give it a go. Okay, up next we got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands Next Level Edition. So yeah, I've played let's see, Borderlands 1 and 2. I know I need to get to 3. Been playing through them with a buddy of mine. He's a diehard fan. But this was on clearance at Best Buy, and so I was able to get it for $5.36. I think it was clearanced for like $12, something like that. So yeah, I figured for $5, might as well pick it up. Okay, then up next we got Epic Mickey Rebrushed. So this is one that I was definitely interested in, and I finally got lucky. Because GameStop had it on sale for like $13, but then the PS5 version was, still like $30. But the thing is, whenever GameStop has a really good deal like that, it's never in stock at a local GameStop. So then I have to order it, and then the shipping, which is usually ridiculous at GameStop, kills the deal. But I, for once, had a local GameStop that had it in stock. So yeah, I was able to grab this for $14.28. And yeah, definitely been enjoying that. Okay, moving along. I had mentioned with the Spider-Man that I was able to pick up a few other items. And I wasn't lying. See, here's the proof. I picked up these 2 Legend of Zelda amiibo. No, I did not pay $30 each for these, which is absolutely outrageous. I was gonna pick up the whole series from Tears of the Kingdom on launch day, but then when they came back and said, "Oh, we're raising the prices to $30," then I was like, "Oh, I'm out. I'm not paying $30, which is ridiculous." And these are, upper scaled ones. Like, there's more detail than like the older styled amiibo for sure. But all the GameStops that I've gone to has had dozens of all 4 characters just hanging up on the shelves because no one's paying 30. So they finally did a deal where it was buy one get one half off, and I had a bunch of coupons, and so it worked out to where I paid, I think, like 17 for Sidon and then like 14 for Tulin, and I was like, okay, I'll pay that, and I'll just wait for another deal on the other 2. But yeah, I was excited to grab them though, because I literally have every other Zelda amiibo, and so it's easier to kind of just keep it going. And then here's some random pickups. I got a charging station because I was tired of Joy-Cons not being charged and only being able to charge on the Switch. So grabbed this for, I think it was like $15, and it works great. It works really well. I plug it into the Switch dock, and then I'm able to just charge the Joy-Cons that are low. It works out nicely. But then with my Best Buy Plus membership, every once in a while they'll have member deals. So they'll have usually 4 or 5 items, and then they'll be heavily discounted, but you can only pick one. And so I hopped on one day, and they had these discounted for $24. And yes, they're not my first choice of colors, but they're brand new Joy-Cons for $24. But, I used my points, and so I picked them up for, $4.20, something like that. Brand new, so always nice to have some extra Joy-Cons. You just never know if that stick drift is going to kick in. All right. And last but not least, for the games, I actually did a video on the unboxing of this. You're always welcome to check that out. But yes, I did pick up The Last of Us Complete Collector's Edition. Huge fan of the series, and this is kind of one of those where I wanted to have the option. But then the problem is I never cancel those pre-orders because deep down I know that I really want it. So yeah, I was able to grab this. Really cool hardbound book of the comics, and then some really cool lithographs. So I'm happy with it, and it's pretty cool. And then last but not least, I picked up this beauty, this 26 terabyte hard drive. Just kind of a random piece of tech I thought I would throw in there, but I was pretty happy to get that. Because I have a couple extra hard drives, but they're all like a 4 terabyte is the largest one I have. So I decided to go big so that I could just store everything. And it's been great so far. Really easy to use, fast transfer speeds, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, that is all. Believe it or not, that is all that I picked up in the last couple of months. But yeah, let me know about some of your pickups, some of your sweet deals or finds. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.